Are you good?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
How are you today?
Good in you.
Great. I I went to the gym, I did yoga, I attended my academy seminar this morning, and now having a conversation with you. How about you? What have you done so far?
Just worked.
Just work.
Much less productive than you.
Less productive. Actually, my Hagwon this week, my other Hagwon is closed because of corona. One student got infected in that school around my close to my academy, so most of the academy close to that school are closed this week, maybe until next week. I'm not sure when open again, so I'm hoping because I don't work 3 days this week. I only have 2 days a week, so it's
Oh
really
wow.
bad. Mm.
Stressful.
Yeah. So, mhm.
So
Have you read those questions, right?
I read through them and it seems most of them is sort of like about meeting people, how do you interact with people, new
Yeah.
people, kind of relationship style.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, actually, uh, yes, because there are many topics that I can share with you, but since this is our first time to have conversation, like live conversation, so that's why I choose this topic. Yes,
it's
so
interesting.
but interesting, right? So by the way, guys, this is my friend Hans, and he is also English
Hey
teacher.
guys, nice to meet you.
Yes, you can introduce yourself because I'm going to share it to my Facebook page. No, Facebook group.
Okay. Oh, cool. So I'm just an English teacher in South Korea. I'm postgrad psychology student as well. So this topic is very interesting to me. Uh,
Hmm.
nice to be here.
Yeah, thank you for accepting the invitation.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So, should we start?
Why not?
Okay, so what was that? The first one?
So you want to run through all the questions, or you want to have like a discussion about meeting people?
Oh, well, it's up to you. You can choose.
Okay, let's go with the questions, and then we see where the conversation leads us.
All right. So, okay. So the first one, what is that? How often do you meet new people? How do you usually meet them?
So meeting new people mostly in sort of public social settings, bars. I play rugby. Um, I go hiking, that kind of stuff. And especially in Korea, if you're a foreigner, they love just coming up to you and starting to talk to you in English. Um, so there's never a shortage of meeting new people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but most of the time it would be in social settings, either with the rugby or with um, events at a bar or at a birthday party or so forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But nowadays, because of Corona, so we can't meet people often face to face. So most of them, I meet my friends online from all over the world just through online, like this, having a live conversation, and we
Okay.
talk different topics. Yeah.
So when you say meet new people, how do you meet new people online?
I mean, just having conversation like this.
Oh,
knowing each other, not just face to face, right? Because it's too far from me.
okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, in Korea, I still go out every so often.
Mm,
It's safe to wear your mask. The foreigners respect each other's distance, mask, all that kind of stuff. So we still we still meet new people.
mm. Somewhere else, like
Yeah.
bars or yeah. I see. I see. Exactly. Okay. So how about number two? Can you read it? What is that?
Oh well, when you meet someone for the how do you feel when you meet someone for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an extrovert, so I
Extrovert.
get excited. Any new person that I meet, I'm excited. I love, sort of getting to know them, seeing their worldviews, discussing interesting topics with them. And I have no filter. What I think, I say. So it's
Mm.
always interesting.
Always interesting. And then you always discuss. You first open a topic to discuss with them, or you're just waiting for them to open a new topic together.
So you measure the person while talking to them.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Person that's open, that's so like for instance, in English, you measure like if I ask you a question, will
Mm-hmm.
you ask me a question back after you answer? That shows that you are open to discussion. If you
Yeah, yeah.
give me an answer and finish, then I know, okay, you sort of don't want to be here, you don't want to have a discussion, then I let it be. I don't talk anymore.
Ah, so your first meeting is just like what's this? Finish already. It's done because if you're not really discussing any topics, then it's kind of you don't have anything to talk with.
So I ask questions, I give it a couple of questions.
Mm-mm-mm.
Sometimes people are shy of it, but you can just see if you ask someone, how was your day? What do you think about the weather? What do you think of sports? What kind of hobbies do you have? And every time they're just giving you an answer, not asking you anything in the return, then
Mm. You feel like mm,
five or six, you realize they don't really want to have a discussion.
I see, I see. I got it. What you mean? I see. Okay. How about this one? Second one. Let me see. Oh, no, no. The third one. What is that? I can't see it. Can you read it?
Yeah, I've got the
Here, here.
questions right
Okay.
here.
How long does it take you to feel comfortable with a new person?
You can't really say. It depends on the person. Like if the person is open or not. It's, it's you get a feeling, you get a vibe. Like some people, they
Mm-hmm.
just want to talk. And it's like 3 minutes and you're comfortable. Other people are a little bit more shut off or shy. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I'd say my shortest feeling comfortable with a person is like 3 to 5 minutes. My longest it's taken with someone that's still in my life is a couple of meetings. So by the third time I see them or the fourth time.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you because you don't know completely that person for the first time you meet, right? So you have to meet many times and hang out together to getting to know each other. And then that time, if you feel like I like this person and you feel comfortable with him or with her, so yeah,
Yeah,
takes time actually.
yeah. And in terms of the first thing I normally say to a person, it's the same as most people. It's like, hey, introduce myself. My name is Hannes. What, how are you doing? The the difference being, I think a lot of people ask, how are you? And they don't even
Mhm.
listen. How are you? I'm fine, and you? And then you go your separate ways. Like I make effort to sort of listen. How
Mm-mm.
are you? Ah, okay, okay. And then is that good? So asking like how are you is a very superficial question.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Exactly.
I normally listen. So if you start listening, that's a good, and that ties in with question 5. That's a good icebreaker question. If you
Mm,
truly listen, because if somebody realizes that you're really listening, it's the best icebreaker you can have.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Okay. Anyway, maybe you can pick up this question randomly. Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah. So there's a couple of questions that pique my interest, like first impression.
Yeah, yeah, the first impression. Okay, so when you meet that person, what is your first impression about that person?
Yeah. So your question says, what does first impressions mean, and does it really matter? First impressions matter. What does it mean? Uh,
First impression. Do you, first impression.
Question 7.
Yeah. For example, if you meet uh someone, then first impression is the last impression, right? For example, if you do something bad, then might people think that you're not a good guy. So you should do something like impress them that, oh, I like him, I like her, because he's very yeah, you know what I mean. First impression, like for example, if you go to an interview, you should, or if you're working in that place for the first time, you should do your best so your boss likes you. So first impression is the last impression. So what do you think about this one? First impression matter.
So I don't quite understand what you mean with last impression. Do you mean like lasting impression, like it will stay with that person forever? If that's what you mean, then I agree.
Mm,
But it can be changed. So often I know of many friends and me as well. I have a couple of friends where we had a terrible first impression, and yet
mm,
we are great friends
mm,
now.
oh.
Um, but it also depends on the context. Like if you're going for an interview, first impressions do matter a lot more than if you meet a future friend,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Mm,
or like a blind date.
mm,
First impressions matter, but that's a different kind of thing. So I completely disagree with a lot of people that say, no, you should act better, or you should think more about your acting when you meet someone for the first time, because first impressions matter.
mm,
There are skills for like interviews and everything, like don't move your hands around because you look nervous. But
mm,
when meeting friends, you don't want a friend that sort of doesn't like the real you. So
mm.
if you meet someone, just be the real you, and if they
Be
don't
real.
like you,
It
yeah,
doesn't
then
matter.
yeah.
Yeah, I got your point. But
And
if you are going,
that's sort of the perspective of most of the foreigners that I know.
mm, I see, I see. Yeah, but if you go on a date or interview, so you should, first impression is matter. But
Yeah,
just mere friends, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he or she likes you. I see, I see.
Yeah. I think even for a date,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit more watch how you act, but don't be something you're not, because then date number 3 or 4 will just be terrible.
Mm.
They will see the real you and then they'll be like, but you didn't used to be this person.
Before, right? For the first time I saw you or meet you, you're not like this, but now you totally changed, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. I got it. All right, so what about uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
What about?
okay, you can choose any of this topic. How about me? Okay. Is it more
Yeah.
comfortable for you to meet men or women? Why? For me, it doesn't matter, man or woman. Uh, but not really men. Not really men. Most of my friends are women. Not really men. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
So for me, both. It doesn't matter men or women.
mhm.
Um, but I am a man. So for me it's different. Um, as many of my friends have told me, as a woman meeting men for the first time,
Mhm.
it's more difficult than as a man meeting a woman for the first time.
Oh.
From the two sides, they say that as a woman meeting a man, it's more nervous, and because men do tend to pretend more when they meet women for the first time.
Uh-huh.
It's
Uh-huh.
more difficult. Whereas women are normally more natural when they meet a guy for, especially in, I'm mostly speaking for English speaking countries, like where I visited and everything. I haven't really dated in Korea, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, for me personally, man or woman, I'm relaxed. I'm open because I love meeting people. It never
Mhm.
bothers me, man or woman.
I see, I
Yeah.
see. I see. Okay, thank you. Yeah, for me, I prefer to meet women, but men,
What?
not really. Not really. Sometimes in a party, at the party with my friends, but don't really talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you more comfortable meeting women?
Yeah, because we're the same. We can talk everything. But men, they have different likes and dislikes. So I prefer to meet just friend, huh? Just friend. So I prefer to meet women
Okay.
because yeah, we have similarities. All right. So how about you? You can choose any of this topic. Our question.
So an interesting one here, and it's a couple of questions. It's like question 17, 18, 19, 20. You talk about dating and meeting someone for the first time in terms of dating.
17,
Um,
19, 20. Here.
17,
17, 18,
19,
19, 20.
18, not so much, but 17, 19, 20. Yeah, it's all about relationships. So it's an interesting topic. In terms of back home, like in English countries, if you want to meet someone for a shallow relationship,
Mm-hmm.
question, you go to a bar.
Mm.
You meet someone in a bar.
Yes, there are many girls at the bar,
Yeah,
and you can find easily, right? But
yeah,
do
exactly.
you, do you go often?
Into do I do I
Yes, do you go often?
to the
Meeting,
bars to
yes.
people?
Mm-hmm.
No,
No.
I
Uh,
I go to bars, but to meet my friends, to have a good time. I don't go to meet people.
People. Yeah, yeah.
Especially- Um, in terms of Korea, it's a little bit different. Like it's about 50-50. Some people you meet in a bar actually want to have a relationship, whereas you don't really find that in English speaking countries. If you meet in a bar, it's not for a relationship.
Just flirt.
Let's flirting. Just flirting.
Yeah, just flirting.
In terms of meeting someone for a romantic relationship and so forth, the general thing is that you go enjoy a hobby. You find a hobby, you join a group that does the hobby, and in that group you will meet people. And that's more the kind of thing that you do for relationships. Like me, for instance, I love adrenaline sports. I
Mm-mm.
love I love outdoors. I love swimming. So I'll join a swimming group,
Mm.
or I'll join a group that goes skydiving or goes bungee jumping or whatever like that. And there I'll meet people that are like-minded, that think like me.
Mm.
And that's the best place to get a relationship.
Mm.
Um, so yeah. And in terms of romantic stories that I've heard people meeting for the first time, question
Mhm.
18, that's the same thing. Like they meet both doing a hobby that they love, and they just happen to meet, and that they get along, and they start building a relationship.
Yeah. I see. I got it. Yes. Uh-huh.
And the question 20, the same goes for good friends.
Number 20?
Like 21.
21. If you're looking for a good friend, where can you go to meet people? Uh,
Same goes for that.
Same.
Like my best friends, I all met doing my hobbies, you know, and doing stuff I like.
Mm,
Because in the end, those are people that think like me, and you want your friends to think like you.
mm. Yeah. Exactly. Because if you have what's that different hobbies, you want to talk this, but you'll always no, I don't like it. Then you feel bad because you keep talking your hobby and then he's always against you. So much better if you have the same what's this likes and hobbies. Uh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be the same in everything, but for instance, I don't play computer or TV games at all. I don't like it. So if I meet someone that all they can talk about is computer games, then it's like we're never going to enjoy each other's company
Yeah,
because,
because you're not interested.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Uh-huh. So what else? Let me check.
Yeah.
Have you ever introduced yourself to a stranger in public? Why? Why did you? What did you say? Have you ever introduced yourself to a stranger in public? No. For me, I think I never did it. I never do it. I never tried to introduce myself in. How about you? Have you tried?
So I'm laughing because I do it often.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, but that's because I study psychology.
Mm.
I find it really fascinating to talk to people. So I do it often. I walk up to them, I introduce myself. I'm like, hey, how are you? I saw you doing this, or you look like a cool person, or that kind of thing. And I just start talking to them.
Mm. Just make friends, right? Just making friend.
Not
No, not really.
not necessarily, no, not friends. Like I'll have discussion with them. We'll talk for 10 minutes and then I'll leave. We'll never talk to each other again. Like,
Oh, just ah, just
yeah,
random conversation.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm. I see. For me, I never tried it. Sometimes when I go to a restaurant and then someone maybe wants to approach me because she keeps smiling, but I'm shy. And then until she left, she always smiling at me, but I never tried to approach her. Oh, what's your name? Oh, where are you from? She's also a foreigner. And then I don't know where is she from. So maybe she wanted to talk with me, but maybe she's also shy. So she wanted me to approach her first, but I was also shy that time. So just keep smiling to each other. Never talk in a way. And
Yeah, it's difficult to do that.
yeah, because I don't have really self-confidence before, but now it's okay. I can talk. So foreigner, if someone approach me, then I can talk. But for me, for the first time that I have to approach them first, no, I won't do that because I'm shy and maybe won't respond or I felt embarrassed because who are you? You're a stranger. Why you're talking to me? So I never tried it.
Yeah. So now it's my turn to pick a question.
Okay.
So this is an interesting one to me.
Uh-huh. Is that?
Uh, let me find it so that I can read it perfectly. Um, oh, are
Number
you number 19?
number
Are
nine.
you who approaches someone first,
Ah, this one.
or
Uh-huh.
you a person who waits for someone to approach you?
Ah, this one. I think I have. This is my personality. I I just wait someone who approach me first. But it depends the situation. If it really needs this something that I have to approach first. But it's just for a friend, like there's no purpose at all. So I'm just waiting. I don't really approach someone first. How about you?
Hold on, and like a potential boyfriend. So if you see a guy you like, will you approach him?
No, never. I will never approach him. Yeah, because in the Philippines we are very conservative. In my not really nowadays because it depends our city. But in my case, we're very conservative that we have to wait. First, the man should approach, even though I really like that person, and never approach him first. Yeah, yeah.
So this is funny because who approached who first? With us. Who approached who?
Ah, this one, us, me, of course,
Uh,
because I know you already from my friend. But if I don't know you, I never approach. I never ask you or yes, because I don't know you. But I know you from my friend, so that's why he introduced me. He introduced you to me.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. And I think this question has a lot to do, like you said, in the Philippines, you are conservative. It
Mm,
has a lot to do with your culture
yeah.
and how you grew up, how you believe.
Mm,
So, whereas in Western cultures, it's a lot less like that, where the guy is supposed to approach the girl.
uh-huh.
Um, yeah, there's still a lot of people who believe that the guy should approach the girl,
Mm,
but it's a lot less than conservative countries.
mm,
In our countries, it's okay if the girl approaches the guy. Like in my culture, there's still a little bit belief that the guy should approach the girl, but
Mm.
it's less than what I've seen in in conservative cultures.
Mm. Yeah, because we call that, for example, if the woman first asks the guy to go on a date or something, blah blah blah, you feel like you're a cheap woman. So in the Philippines, we still have that kind of belief. So should men approach first to women, to the woman? So yes. How about in your country? It doesn't matter at all if it's a woman approach.
It's a difficult topic at the moment
Mm-hmm.
because from my parents and my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
the man approaches the woman.
Mm-hmm.
But if women want equal rights to men, then
Mm-hmm.
should they not approach men as well?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the belief, that's the question amongst younger people now. Like, if you want to be treated the same as a man, then should you not be willing to do the same kind of things, say, approach the same challenges that a man approaches?
Mm-hmm.
Would it not be okay for a woman to approach a man?
Sorry, it's not okay. What do you mean?
Meaning, like, in the thing that man should approach a woman, it's a belief. It's like, oh, like you say, if a
Uh-uh.
woman approaches a man, she's seen as cheap.
Mm-mm.
But if we want to change the culture, should it
Mm.
not be okay for a woman to approach a man? It should be okay for a woman to come up to a man and say, hey, you look nice. I think you have a good smile or nice eyes or whatever. And
Whatever.
just stop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
But that's the discussion
Mm,
in Western cultures. Like,
Western cultures.
the discussion is towards breaking old thinking patterns
Mm-mm.
and designing new ones where it's okay for either gender to initiate
Mm-mm.
conversation.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I got your point.
Yeah.
For friend, it's okay, right? I think men, women to approach first to man. But if you have purpose that you like that guy and then you approach first, can I go? Can I? Can you go a date with me? And it's not good actually. It's not good for me.
Mm, yeah, like I understand that in your culture. In
Mm-mm.
my culture, we
It
are
doesn't
trying to
matter.
destroy that thinking. We want to cancel that thinking.
Ah,
It's okay either way.
oh. But what about if the woman rejected the man? So you feel like so embarrassing because you she's a woman and then us approaching a man and then the man rejected her. So because in the Philippines we have this kind of what's that feelings that if we rejected, oh, you're a cheap woman. So it's not good, I think.
Okay, but then I can ask you other way around. If me as a man, if I approach you and you reject me,
Mm-mm.
am I cheap man?
But I think it's okay because you're a man. Men all should approach women first. But I think it's okay in my opinion. But if the woman got rejected by man, so it's not good image for me, I think.
See, and that's the other challenge we have in Western cultures.
Ah.
Like, honestly, do you know how much how many times men get rejected by women.
I don't know.
And women are very harsh in the way they reject men.
Oh, really?
If if it becomes where men and women approach and women start experiencing rejection,
Mm-hmm.
then they start understanding that rejection hurts. So
Hurts.
they will do it in a kinder way.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand what you mean. Yeah, because we are the same human, right? We have feelings. Even though you are a man, and then if you got rejected, of course you get hurt. Mm. So yeah, I understand.
But it's a very, very big discussion.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me check. Uh-huh. How about this? I will. Do you remember faces? Okay, if you have met a person, do you easily recognize them later? Yes, for me, in my case, I can remember her or his face later, but I'm not good at remembering names. How about you?
Okay.
How about you?
I, I am good. Um, I'm very good at it, but I practiced it for many years.
Mm.
So there are strategies to remember people's names and faces.
Oh,
Mm,
can you share?
and well, for me, for instance, when I meet someone,
Mm-hmm.
when you shake hands,
Mm-hmm.
you you look them in the eye for a little bit longer. Like
Oh.
normally, people will go and they'll be like, especially if you meet 3 or 4 people, you will go, hello, 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 and you don't even look at the person.
Mm. Mm-mm.
My strategy is when you meet someone, you look them in the eye, you remember their eye color, and you ask for a surname, and you say the name and back to two
Mm.
times.
2 times. Confirm.
For instance,
Confirmation.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
no, but for instance, if you meet me now, I'll I'll meet you. I'll say, what's your name? What's your surname? You'll say it to me. I'll say it back, and then I'll be like, ah, how are you? And use your name again, and then I'll ask you, yeah, and then I'll use a second sentence like, it's nice weather we have. Do you enjoy the weather? Use your name again.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
Immediately, I used your name 3 times, and I remember your eyes, your eye
Oh,
color. That
oh, that's the
helps.
trick. Oh, I will. I think I will try to do that when I meet new people. But actually, even though for me it's been a long time I meet you, and then for a long time we don't meet, and then we meet randomly somewhere else. Oh, you look familiar to me. Have we met before? And then I tried to remembering where did we meet? Blah 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 blah. And then, oh, you still remember me? Wow, the surprise. Actually, most of them my students for a long time, 2 years ago, and then I met them somewhere else at the park or public. Oh, I saw you. I remember you. Where did we meet before? In the center. So and then we start our conversation again. Mm.
Okay.
But forget their names, just only face. Yes. So okay, so it's your.
Um, there's not any other questions that I really saw
Mhm.
that I would
How
like to
how about
discuss.
number 13? Have you ever met somebody and immediately hit it off? What made you get along so quickly?
So I would say normally, yeah, I have met people and hit it off immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the biggest thing meeting them immediately and hitting it off is laughing about something.
Mm.
I, I remember the last time I met someone and we hit it off immediately is we were walking down the road
Mm.
and what somebody did something crazy in front of us and we both started laughing like a lot. And we looked at each other and we laughed more. And then we introduced and we started talking. And
Mm. It's a nice. Yeah. For me, have you ever met someone and immediately hit it off? Um, I don't remember. I have to get to know first that person before I comfortable and like that person.
okay.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I always have keep distance first, but yeah, we can be friends like this. We can talk more, but like really get along quickly, instantly. I never tried it. I haven't experienced yet. Hmm. Yes.
Interesting.
Mm.
Um, do you think it maybe it has something to do with your conservative culture?
Um, Not really, but it depends the person, I think. Mm-mm. Yes, it depends the person. Like my friend now, Rovilisa, I I just known her through Facebook because before when I left my first academy and then was searching for my replacement and then she was interested and then I introduced her to my boss and then that time we started our friendship until now. It was 2009, 2017 or 918. It was a very long time. So until now, because I live here and then we live in the same area, the same place, so it's very close to me. So that's why we meet often, and now we're very close. Always calling every day and sharing our problems or any anecdotes. Yeah, and hang out sometimes together. So yeah, I never thought that we have this kind of relationship because I just known her through Facebook, through online. Yeah, it depends.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's cool when that happens.
Yeah. So okay, how about you?
Yeah, when you mean the next question?
Uh-huh.
Um, the last question for me that I can see
Mm-mm.
is it okay to ask a person for their age?
Where is that number?
24.
24. Uh-huh. Yes, in your
So
country. Is it okay?
again, it depends on the context.
Mm-hmm.
Like it depends on the situation. Um, if I meet an older person, then no, it's not okay.
It's not okay, right?
Um, but if I meet someone that could be a friend, then it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Then it doesn't matter. If I meet a girl, it's sort of you have to see. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. That makes it difficult because
Mm-hmm.
a girl towards a girl, you can ask the age. A guy towards a guy, ask the age. But oppose like a girl can ask a guy for his age, that's normal. But a guy asking a girl, a saying in my country that you never ask a lady for her age.
Why?
Because they say it's rude.
Um,
Because, yeah, so they say a lady never reveals her age. Um,
Never reveal.
I think it's old thinking in the sense that in the old times, you sort of treat a lady by how old she looks, not by how old she is.
Mm-mm.
So if a lady looks good, then you treat her the age she looks. Uh,
Mm,
it I think it comes from the old British way of thinking, from when lords and ladies and that kind of thing.
mm, mm, mm,
Um, I honestly don't really know why it's rude.
mm,
It's just become so ingrained in our culture that you don't ask a lady her age, especially if she's older.
mm. But she's older, but she looks young. Would you consider that one?
So that's why normally when a girl or a lady or a woman,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't ask the age at first.
Ah, yeah, yeah. For the first time, right? Maybe later on when you get along each other,
Yeah,
that time you can ask.
both, yeah,
Mm-mm.
both are comfortable.
Yeah, because first for the first time, and then you ask her age. Of course, ladies, shy if they're older than you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Mm-mm. Especially here in Korea, I think it's the same. You should not ask women their age, especially for the first time you meet them. So maybe later on when you get closer, then you can, yeah, you have to know how old is she.
Yeah, yeah, which is it's very interesting in Korea.
Yeah. In the Philippines, I never, maybe it doesn't matter. I think in the Philippines, you can ask their age, it doesn't matter. Same as if you ask them, like, how much do you earn? It's not good here in Korea. But, no, no, I mean, it's not good in other country, but in Korea, it's common. For example, I meet uh, Korean woman, and then, oh, where do you work? Oh, how much do you earn? It's common here. They actually ask about your salary, how much you earn a month. So another country is not appropriate, I think. How about in your country?
So I found the same thing in my country. It's you don't ask that.
Right, it's kind
Like
of rude, right? Mm.
it's not just rude.
But
It's like most contracts where
mhm.
you work says when you sign the contract, do not discuss your salary with anyone.
Ah,
So it's not just rude, it's against your contract, it's against your employment. Uh,
uh-uh.
be- we can be three people doing the same job, but because I have more experience, I
Mm.
get a higher salary. And they
Mm.
want the other people to know this.
So you feel bad. Why he has high salary than I? So you're comparing yourself, right? So it's not good. But here in Korea, I think it doesn't matter because before when I work with Korean women, and she asked me how much I earn, and then I asked her, it doesn't matter. Or else Korean woman first asked you, oh, how much your salary? They have to ask you, 월급 얼마예요? It's common. It's common here in Korea. Mm,
Yeah, yes. I've had many men ask me as well.
mm,
Even if they first meet me, like within 5 minutes, they ask me,
mm.
which is then
You feel
then
uncomfortable, right? Do
I
you
what
do you
I
tell
learn.
that the truth or not? Do you answer?
So mostly I don't answer.
You don't answer.
Um, because in In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to know how much money I make, then you don't care about me, you care about my success.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
for me, I don't care about salary. I don't care how much or how little you make.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's what my country and like the countries I've visited are moving towards. It doesn't matter how much money you make, it's about how happy you are doing what you are doing.
Mm. Yes, as long as you love what you're doing. Because if you have,
Exactly.
because if you're working in that job and then you're not happy at all, you're just working for money, then it's not worth it. It's just less. Mm, yes, but how about you? Are you happy? What are your, I don't know, what you're doing now in your job? Are you happy or?
So yeah, I love teaching kids. Um, I don't I don't necessarily love teaching. I
Mm-mm.
love the kids.
Mm,
So I really love kids and what I'm doing. Actually, I'm with Hagwon, so I'm not public school. So there's not that pressure.
mm-mm.
But as I said, I'm studying. So I want to be a psychologist. So
Mm,
that's where I'm going. And I'll probably end up being a child psychologist.
mm-mm.
Uh, so that's where I'm going. So I'm sort of happy, but I'm not completely happy. I'm working with kids like I want to one day, but I'm teaching and education is difficult.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Um,
You are you happy where you are?
my job, yes, because
Yeah.
I love teaching. Mm-mm. This, this
Why?
This before, actually before when I was in the Philippines, I don't want to be a teacher because I feel like teacher is a very hard work job. You have to study as well, and then it seems like you're always learning. But I found out when I came here in Korea that teaching is that is my passion because when I teach to my student at the same time I am learning. I learn new words, vocabulary, phrases or whatever, so it improved me a lot, so much better compare working like doing the same thing every day, like doing working at the office, you're always doing the same thing, so it's kind of boring. But if you're working as a teacher, you're always teach different topics and then different, so anyway, maybe it depends the person. I Because I have also my friend, she doesn't
Yeah.
like teaching. She is so stressed when she handle many kids. She doesn't like it. Mm. But for me, I
Yeah.
love teaching actually. Mm.
Okay.
And I have more freedom because I only work part time, and then in the morning I can do whatever I want. I can study online or work out, yoga or whatever. And then I only work in the afternoon, so but the time very short, but I can earn the same payments if I'm working full time. So much better. I will have to work part time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
we have
nice.
we have more freedom. Uh,
Yeah. So anyway, is there any last questions you want to discuss?
yes. How about this one? Have you ever been to a party where people were mingling? How good are you at circulating? Mhm.
That's an interesting question. Um, I'd say pretty good. I'm pretty good at mingling. Um, I I enjoy mingling. As I said before, I enjoy talking to new people. I enjoy perspectives.
Mm.
I think sometimes my friends get upset with me because I am mingling and circulating too much.
Mm, mm, mm,
So I would normally at a party or at an event, I would go talk to all the new people and have discussions with them. And sometimes we get into big discussions for half an hour or an hour. And in
mm.
the end, some parties I end up almost never talking to my friends.
Ah, I can imagine the situation. Mm,
So
because
sometimes
in
I get upset, but yeah. And
yeah,
you?
because for me, no, not really, because I can join them, but not really mingling. Like, yeah, I can talk to them, but they're always boundary, especially if I don't know them yet.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
mm-mm. Because, yeah, maybe that is my personality. I don't really, but if we've known very long time, so yeah, I can mingling with you guys. But not really. So yeah, I always have limit myself. So yeah, thank you so much for your time today. We've been talking for how many hours? I think let me check. Oh, for almost 1 hour. I'm recording this conversation actually.
Oh, awesome. Thank you to you. It was fun being on here. It was fun having this discussion with you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
it's
So yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll see you around. Hence, thank you so
oh,
much. Yes. Have a good night.
you too. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.